The lights feel too bright, hot on my skin as I stand here smiling. Cameras flash. The applause is a dull roar in my ears. They just gave me this award, a big one, for building my company from nothing. It feels good, or it should. But then I see her. Ellie, my sister. She steps onto the stage, her arm linked with Tyler's. A mic is handed to her. And then she says it, her voice ringing out. "We have some exciting news! Tyler and I are engaged!" The room erupts again, this time for her. Just like before. History loves repeating itself, especially with Ellie. This is the third time she's pulled focus, stolen the moment. First, my high school valedictorian speech, then my college graduation, and now this, my moment. I keep smiling for the photos, my jaw tight. She leans into me, whispers, "You don't mind, right? Your big sister deserves some attention too." Her eyes calculating. I nod, pull her closer for the picture. Over her shoulder, I see Mom in the crowd. Our eyes meet, she looks away. Just like always. Complicit. They think I'm still the kid who gets walked over. They don't know this time is different. I've been preparing. That day at graduation. It replays in my head like a faulty loop. The heat was oppressive under the cap and gown. My stomach churned with nerves and something else. A quiet pride. I was doing it. The first in the family to graduate college. 4 years of working 2 jobs, living on ramen, skipping parties while they lived their lives. I'd paid for every credit, every book, every late-night coffee that kept me going. My hands were calloused, my eyes tired, but I'd made it. Grandfather couldn't be here. He was too frail, but he'd sent a card, promised to watch the live stream. Tyler, my best friend since forever, was supposed to be filming it for him. My name is called. I walk across the stage, the dean's hand reaching out. This is it, the handshake, the diploma, the culmination. And then Ellie. She sprints down the aisle in her bright pink dress, a disruptive streak against the sea of black. She grabs the microphone from the podium before I even get my diploma. Excuse me, everyone!" Her voice, loud, demanding attention. "I have an announcement, a really, really important one." A ripple of confusion through the crowd. My parents, sitting in the front row, beam at her, encouraging. My heart sinks, a familiar, cold dread. What is she doing? "I'm pregnant!" she shouts, beaming, holding up a positive test strip like it's a Nobel Prize. "Tyler and I are going to have a baby." Chaos. My family surges forward, surrounding her at the edge of the stage. Mom is crying. Dad is hugging Tyler. The dean is left standing there, hand extended, diploma half offered. I am forgotten. A statue on the stage, while the real show happens below. The camera Tyler was holding, the one meant for grandfather, is now pointed directly at Ellie, capturing her glorious moment. Later, at the restaurant, a place Mom insisted on for a family celebration. Though it quickly became the Ellie and Tyler show, Tyler pulls me aside. He looks sheepish, running a hand through his hair. "Hey man, look, about the filming. Ellie she got really excited." Excited? I keep my voice flat. Inside, I'm screaming. "She hijacked my graduation, Tyler. My graduation." He shifts his weight. "Yeah, I know, it was her idea to announce it then. She thought it would be memorable." Memorable for who? For everyone, a big reveal. He doesn't get it. He never does. "Look, I'm sorry about your grandpa. I can try and get some of the footage, maybe clip it later." "Did you know?" I ask. The question hangs heavy in the air. He avoids my eyes. Yeah, I knew she was going to announce. Not exactly how she was going to do it, but look, man, she's having a baby. That's a huge deal." A huge deal. Bigger than 4 years of sacrifice, apparently. Bigger than being the first. Bigger than me. The truth lands like a punch to the gut. My best friend was in on it. Another betrayal, wrapped up in an excuse. The dinner is a blur of congratulations for Ellie, baby talk, future plans. My job offer, a solid entry-level position at a reputable company, gets a dismissive wave from my father. "Oh, that. Yes, a starting position. Good for you, son. Ellie, are you thinking about names? What about something classic? Eleanor, perhaps?" My mother, seeing my face, pulls me aside later, her voice soft but firm. "Honey, your sister needs us right now. She's going to be a single mother. It's hard. You've always been so independent. You can handle things. Ellie needs more support." More support. It's the family mantra. Ellie needs this. Ellie needs that. Her failed attempts at community college, paid for in full by mom and dad, while I worked double shifts, her endless stream of emergencies that required immediate financial or emotional intervention. And me? I'm independent, which means I need nothing. I am seen as self-sufficient, capable, which in their eyes translates to undeserving of their time, attention, or resources. Later that night, back in my small, quiet apartment, the silence is deafening after the forced cheer of the dinner. The air still feels thick with their dismissal. I sit on the edge of my bed, the only sound the hum of the ancient refrigerator, and then I see it. A thick envelope on my desk, tucked under a stack of textbooks I haven't packed yet. Grandfather's familiar, shaky handwriting. He didn't just send a card. Inside, a letter. His health was failing faster than he let on. He knew he wouldn't make it. He had been quietly watching, he wrote. Watching all of us. He saw the sacrifices I made. He saw the way things were. And he hadn't liked it. The letter detailed an inheritance. Not a small sum, not pocket change, something substantial. He'd made smart investments over the years, kept it quiet. He wanted me to have it, all of it. He trusted me to use it wisely, to build the life I deserved. He wrote that he was proud of my independence, not as a reason to neglect me, but as a sign of my strength. He saw the strength they overlooked. And then a line that chills me, even now. "Show them, my boy. Show them what happens when they underestimate you." It wasn't just money. It was validation. It was a weapon. Sitting there in the quiet of my apartment, the sting of the day's betrayals fresh, a new feeling begins to stir. Not just hurt, not just anger, something colder, calculating. Grandfather's words echo, "Show them." A seed is planted in the fertile ground of my resentment, revenge, silent, planned. They wanted a show? I'd give them one. But this time, I would be the director. It's a month after graduation. Ellie and Tyler are practically dripping with sickeningly sweet engagement bliss. Of course, they announce the date, the same day as my first big presentation at work. The presentation I've been busting my ass on. The one that could set the tone for my whole career. Tyler calls, all casual. "Hey man, hope you don't mind, but we picked June 15th. It's a Saturday. Figured that worked best for everyone." I paced on a cheerful tone. "June 15th? Perfect. Hey, funny coincidence. That's the day of my big work presentation." A slight pause. "Oh, right, well, it's family first, right?" I bite back the bitterness. "Of course, family first." "Great, so you'll be there. About the venue, we're having a little trouble finding something that's us and affordable." An idea sparks. An ugly, beautiful idea. "You know," I say, my voice light, "my new job is in, let's just say, the real estate and hospitality sector. I've already made a few contacts. Maybe I could, pull some strings, see if I can help you find a place." Ellie is on the phone then, shrieking with delight. "Oh my God, Kevin, that would be amazing! You're the best!" "Anything for my favorite sister," I say. the lie rolling easily off my tongue. The wheels start turning immediately. Grandfather's inheritance. It's sitting there, a silent promise. I start researching. Venue companies, shell corporations, layers of anonymity. Within weeks, I'm not just a guy with a contact. Through a series of discrete transactions, using carefully constructed shell companies, I own the company that owns the venue they're looking at. They have no idea. They're talking to managers who report, indirectly, to me. I watch from the shadows, pulling the strings. Then there's Rachel, my ex. I run into her accidentally at a coffee shop near her office. She's all polished smiles and calculated charm. "Kevin, wow, you're looking successful." "Trying my best," I say, playing along. She dumped me, of course, once she realized I wasn't the fast track to my father's business connections she'd hoped for. She fishes for compliments, for information. "So, your dad's doing well? Still in the same industry?" "Oh, yeah," I say, leaning in conspiratorially. "Actually, he's looking at a big opportunity right now. Something that could really change things. Huge potential." Her eyes light up. "Really? Anything specific?" "Can't say too much," I demur, a smirk playing on my lips. "But it's in the insert vague but relevant industry detail that ties into MC's growing business knowledge sector. Requires a bit of strategic thinking." I plant the seed, knowing her type. She'll dig. She'll try to use it. Let her. It's all part of the larger game. A few weeks later, Dad calls. He sounds stressed. "Son, listen, that opportunity I mentioned, it's bigger than I thought. A bit complex. You're good with numbers, right? And you're in the business world now. Could you take a look at my proposal? Give me some pointers?" The fish bites. Deeper than I expected. This is better than I could have planned. Control. I agree readily. "Of course, Dad. Happy to help." I spend days going over his proposal. It's amateur hour. Full of holes, flawed assumptions, wishful thinking. I could fix it. I could make it brilliant. But that's not the plan. Instead, I offer advice. Subtle suggestions. Seemingly helpful tips that are, in fact, poison. I know he won't double-check. He trusts me. Or rather, he assumes I'm not smart enough or invested enough to do anything but offer basic, harmless suggestions. I highlight the wrong areas, downplay the risks, inflate the potential returns based on faulty data I selectively provide. I watch him nod, scribbling notes, completely unaware. The engagement party. It's at the venue I secretly own. The irony isn't lost on me. The place looks nice, the music is playing, everyone is laughing. Ellie is glowing. Tyler looks smug. They're basking in their moment. My moment, I remind myself. Quietly, subtly, I make a few calls. As the night wears on, just as the toasts are about to begin, a commotion starts at the entrance. Venue staff, looking agitated, are talking to Mom and Dad. Voices rise, something about missed payments. "We apologize, but the account is several weeks past due," I hear the manager saying, his voice firm. "We haven't received the last 2 installments. Per the contract, we have the right to cease services immediately." Panic flickers on my parents' faces. Ellie looks mortified. Tyler starts arguing, blustering about deposits. The manager is unyielding. Without payment, the party is over. The crowd is murmuring. The perfect, beautiful night is dissolving into a humiliating public spectacle. I step forward, calm, collected. "What's going on?" Mom wrings her hands. "Oh, honey, there's been a terrible misunderstanding with the payments. They're saying they'll shut everything down." I frown, pull out my phone. "Let me see the contract." I examine it, pretending to read the fine print. Yes, it does state immediate termination for missed payments. I look at the manager. Is there anything we can do? He hesitates, then looks at me, recognizing me from the acquisition. A flicker of understanding passes between us. He plays his part perfectly. Well, if the full outstanding balance were paid right now, perhaps we could overlook the breach this time. Dad looks frantic. Right now? We don't have that kind of cash on hand. Ellie starts crying. My party! This is ruined! I sigh, pull out my wallet. How much is it? I ask the manager. He names a figure. It's substantial, but a fraction of grandfather's gift. I pull out a credit card. Run it. Silence falls as I hand over the card. The manager processes it. Relief washes over my family's faces. Mom hugs me tightly. Oh, Kevin, you saved us. You're a hero. Ellie, tears still on her cheeks, manages a weak smile. Thanks, Kev. I wave it off. Anything for family. I make sure everyone sees the card, the ease with which I handle the expense. Let them think I'm suddenly doing that well at my starting position. They don't need to know I just paid myself. The chaos subsides. The party continues, albeit with a lingering awkwardness. My quiet act of saving them earns me a temporary, fragile gratitude. In the following weeks, Dad's big business opportunity collapses. The faulty information I subtly steered him towards leads to a disastrous pitch, a lost deal, and a significant financial setback for him. Rachel, who had clearly tried to leverage the insider information I gave her for her own career advancement, finds herself out of favor with the company involved, her opportunism exposed and backfiring spectacularly. I listen to my father complain about the unforeseen circumstances, the bad luck. I offer sympathetic nods, a listening ear. I position myself as the supportive son and brother, the quiet success story in the background, while the seeds of my revenge take root and begin to grow. They are so focused on their own dramas, they don't see the ground shifting beneath their feet. 6 months pass. I'm not just doing well at work, I'm excelling. I put in the hours, I make the right moves, I build real connections. My starting position is quickly becoming something far more significant. While I'm focused on building my future, Ellie's pregnancy progresses, and the family drama ramps up. Then comes the baby shower demand. It has to be this weekend, Ellie insists on a family call. It's the only time everyone can make it. Family only, you know? Intimate. The problem? That weekend is my important work conference. A conference that could lead to a major promotion, a significant leap in my career. Family pressures me. It's just a conference, Kevin, Mom says, her tone implying I'm being unreasonable. This is about family. Your nephew, your sister needs you here. Yeah, man, Tyler chimes in. Work stuff will always be there, family won't. They paint it as a simple choice, work or family. They don't see the years of work, the missed opportunities because of family obligations, the constant prioritizing of Ellie. I could fight it. I could point out the hypocrisy. But that's not the plan. You're right, I say, letting out a seemingly reluctant sigh. Family is important. Okay, I'll skip the conference. Relief, approval. They think they've won. They don't know I've already booked a red-eye flight. I'll attend the key sessions at the conference, network, do what I need to do, then fly back just in time for the shower. Sleep is a luxury I can postpone. While navigating my double life, I stumble upon something else. Tyler and Rachel. An overheard conversation, a shared glance that lingers too long, a carefully tracked burner phone number. They're having an affair. Messy, sordid, and exactly the kind of ammunition I might need. I collect evidence quietly. Texts, photos, timestamps. Not out of any moral outrage, but because knowledge is power. I don't confront them. Not yet. Dad calls again. This time it's worse. His voice is tight with desperation. Kevin, son, I'm in a bit of a bind. That business deal, it set me back more than I thought. And with the baby coming, Ellie has so many expenses, I need a loan. He names a figure. It's significant. More than a loan for baby supplies. It's to keep his head above water. He's leveraged himself too thin. I pretend to think about it. A loan, I say slowly. Dad, that's a big ask. I know, son. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. For the family, for the baby. The familiar refrain. For the family. For Ellie. Okay, I say. Okay, I can help. But we need to do this properly. Paperwork. A contract. Just protection, you know? For both of us. He agrees, relieved. He doesn't haggle over the terms. He's too desperate. The contract I draw up is ironclad. It puts the family home up as collateral. Not because I want their house, but because I want leverage. Complete, undeniable leverage. They are tying their financial future to me, link by link, the baby shower. It's a saccharine affair of pastel decorations and forced smiles. Everyone is there, showering Ellie with gifts. Tyler is playing the doting father-to-be, his arm around Ellie's waist. My flight was rough, I'm exhausted, but I plaster on a cheerful face. I brought a ridiculously expensive stroller, something I know they can't afford. More points for the supportive brother. During the toasts, Tyler stands up, raises a glass. He's rambling about starting their new life, about family. It's my moment. Just as he's about to take a sip, a phone on the table next to him vibrates. It's Rachel's phone. She left it there. I might have accidentally forwarded a certain text message chain to her phone just before I sat down. An incriminating, explicit exchange between her and Tyler, clearly outlining their affair and their not-so-secret plans. The phone lights up with the notification. It's on speaker, connected to a portable speaker playing soft background music. The text message is displayed prominently on the screen, the first few lines visible to anyone looking. And it's announced aloud in Rachel's voice, thanks to a quick text-to-speech app I installed on her phone during a moment she left it unattended earlier. Can't wait for this baby shower to be over. Then we can finally ditch this town, take the money from his parents, and start fresh, just us. Meet me at the usual spot later? Silence. Stunned, horrified silence. Every eye in the room is on Rachel's phone, on the message, on Tyler. On Rachel, who is now white as a sheet. Ellie's hand flies to her mouth, her eyes wide with shock. Tyler freezes, glass halfway to his lips. Dad's face turns a dangerous shade of red. Mom gasps, a hand to her chest. Chaos erupts. Ellie is shrieking, sobbing. Dad is roaring at Tyler, who is stammering, denying everything, trying to grab Rachel's phone. Rachel is trying to disappear into the crowd. Accusations fly, tears stream, relationships shatter in real time. I remain in my seat, outwardly calm, my expression one of concerned surprise. I step in, the voice of reason amidst the storm. Everyone, please, calm down. This isn't helping anything. I play the role of mediator, of the stable one. I usher Ellie into another room. I try to calm my parents. I tell Tyler and Rachel they need to leave. I am the pillar they lean on, the one holding things together as their world implodes. Later, Mom is hysterical. Your father, the business, and now this. How are we going to manage? Ellie is pregnant. We have no money. I agree, my voice full of sympathy. It's a difficult situation, but we'll figure it out. I'll help. I mention the contract, the loan, the collateral. I reassure them I won't call in the loan, that I'll work with them. They are so desperate they don't question my terms. They are now financially bound to me, dependent on my leniency. Meanwhile, I hear about my promotion at the conference. The flight, the exhaustion, the drama, it was all worth it. I return to the wreckage of the shower, not just as the supportive brother, but as the calm, successful figure who is now, unknowingly to them, holding all the cards. Ellie tearfully begs me to help fix things with Tyler. I listen, offer platitudes, while already planning the next phase. My mother, seeing the extent of Dad's financial ruin, the crumbling of their carefully constructed life, the humiliation of the shower, turns to me completely. Kevin, you're the only one we can rely on. Can you help us keep the house? I agree, of course, magnanimous. The savior. I restructure the loan, making it clear they are deeply in debt to me, their home the collateral. They agree to everything, blind to the fact that I orchestrated the very crisis I am now helping them navigate. They are indebted, dependent, and still oblivious to the extent of my involvement. The silence of my revenge is deafening. A year passes, a year of deliberate, quiet assent. My professional success isn't just substantial, it's undeniable. I've made key investments, expanded my network, and my name carries weight in the industry. While their lives have spiraled, Ellie navigating single motherhood, my parents struggling with debt and the fallout of the shower, Tyler drifting, I've been building power, building control. I arrange a dinner. Just a casual get-together, I tell them, at a friend's place. He's out of town, said I could use it. I pick them up in a car that's far nicer than anything they own. I drive them to a penthouse downtown. The doorman greets me by name, with a deference that surprises them. The elevator whisks us up, 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 the city lights spreading out below. The penthouse is stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist luxury, breathtaking views. They are awestruck, intimidated. Wow, Kevin, Dad says, looking around. Your friend is doing well. He is, I reply, a small smile playing on my lips. He's been very successful. Ellie is quiet, holding her son, my nephew, close. He's a sweet kid, innocent in all of this. I've made sure to send him gifts, set up a small savings account in his name. He's the only one who deserves any consideration. We sit down for dinner. The food is catered, exquisite. They chatter nervously, trying to fill the silence with mundane talk. I let them. I watch them. These people who shaped my early life with their indifference and active undermining. Then casually I begin to reveal, not with anger, not with shouting, with quiet, precise facts. You know, I say, pouring myself some water, it's funny how things work out. That venue for Ellie's engagement party, nice place, right? They nod, a little uncomfortable reminder of the near disaster. Small world, I continue. I ended up acquiring the company that owns it a while back. Nice little investment. Silence. Their eyes widen slightly. And Dad? I turn to him. That business deal that fell through, tough break. I've actually been investing in that sector quite a bit recently. Saw a lot of potential. It's been paying off nicely. He stares at me, confused. But you were helping me with the proposal. You said... I said what you wanted to hear, I finish. What you expected to hear from your starting position son. The air is getting thick. Ellie is looking at me, her brow furrowed. You remember grandfather? I ask, my voice softer now, a different kind of weight behind the name. He was a smart man, saw things clearly. He left me. Everything. Said he was proud I wasn't dependent on anyone. Said he saw my strength. Their faces are a mixture of shock and disbelief. Grandfather? Inheritance? They had no idea. They always assumed he was just grandfather. Frail. Out of the loop. He told me to show them, I say, the echo of his words in my mind. Show them what happens when they underestimate you. I lay it all out. The shell companies. The strategic investments that now give me significant stakes in their world. The terms of the loan on their house. the one they thought was just me being the good son. I explain how their finances are now, intricately and legally, tied to mine. I control the strings they never knew were there. Then, the final cuts. I pull out my phone, connect it to the large screen on the wall. Documents, emails, text messages, years of dismissive comments about me, jokes about my ambition, predictions of my failure, their complaints about having to deal with me, all the quiet slights, the casual cruelties laid bare, their words haunting them, and then the evidence I gathered. Tyler and Rachel's texts. Their plan, not just to have an affair, but to bleed my parents dry, using Ellie's pregnancy as leverage, and then disappear. Proof of Ellie's complicity, her knowledge of their plan, her calculated performance of helplessness to keep the money flowing. Ellie's face crumples. "No, that's not true." "Isn't it?" I ask, my voice flat. The evidence is undeniable, black and white. Their own words. My parents look between me, Ellie, and the screen. Their reality shattering. Their golden child. The one who needed all their support. The one they sacrificed for. The one they prioritized over me. A manipulator. Their carefully constructed image of their family, their sacrifices for Ellie, crumbling into dust. I watch them, the shock, the dawning horror, the dawning realization of just how thoroughly they underestimated me. I feel nothing. No triumph, no joy, just a quiet, settled peace. "I'm not looking for an apology," I say, my voice cutting through the stunned silence. "Or understanding. I just wanted you to know, to understand the consequences of your actions." I stand up. The views from the penthouse are spectacular tonight. "This place, by the way, it's not a friend's. It's mine." Another layer of the reveal. "I'm moving overseas," I announce, the final twist. "Expanding the business? There are bigger opportunities elsewhere." I look at my nephew, sleeping peacefully in Ellie's arms. "I'll ensure he's taken care of. A trust fund for his education, anything he needs. He's innocent in all of this." I gather my things. The rest? You'll need to figure it out yourselves. The debts, the fallout, the relationships you've destroyed. That's your problem now. I walk towards the door. They are frozen, staring, their faces pale, their world in ruins. I don't look back. I leave them in the silence of the penthouse, surrounded by the wreckage of their lies and the consequences of my quiet, calculated revenge. The emergency meeting is called the next day. They try to frame it as a family discussion, a chance to work things out. It's in Mom and Dad's living room, the same room where countless family dramas have unfolded, always with me in the background. The air is thick with tension, regret, and a desperate attempt to claw back control. Ellie starts first. Tears, of course. She apologizes, her voice trembling. "Kevin, I was scared. About being a mom. About failing. I thought if I had money, if I had Tyler, everything would be okay. It wasn't about you. It was about my own insecurity." She tries to make it sound like a moment of weakness, a mistake, not a calculated betrayal. I listen, my face unmoving. Tyler is next. He tries a different tactic. Business. He's lost everything. His smug confidence is gone, replaced by a desperate edge. "Kev, man, look. What happened with Rachel? It was stupid. A mistake. But you and me, we go way back. Best friends, remember? How about we partner up? You're clearly doing well. My business idea, the one I was working on, with your resources, we could make it huge. We could rebuild." He tries to leverage the past, the friendship, the supposed loyalty. I look at him. This man who filmed my sister announcing her pregnancy instead of my graduation from my dying grandfather. This man who planned to steal from my parents with my sister. "No," I say. Just one word. calm, final, the first real sign of the new boundaries. Mom tries the emotional appeal. Her voice cracks. Kevin, honey, please, we're family. This is tearing us apart. Whatever happened in the past, we can forgive, we can move forward. Family bonds are the most important thing. She talks about forgiveness as if it's a magic wand, waving away years of neglect and betrayal. She talks about family bonds as if they weren't the chains that held me back. Dad, ever the pragmatist, tries to regain control through business. Son, what you've done, it's impressive. We clearly underestimated you, but we can still salvage this. We can work together, a family business, combine your resources with my experience. We can be a force. He sees me not as a son, but as an asset he can still exploit. His offer isn't about reconciliation. It's about regaining control of the financial strings I now hold. I respond to each of them, not with anger, but with a quiet, unwavering refusal. I've heard you. I understand why you did what you did. The insecurity, the desperation, the misplaced priorities. I choose my words carefully. I forgive you. Relief flickers in their eyes. They think they've won. They think forgiveness means a return to the way things were. But, I continue, a wall between us. Forgiveness doesn't mean restored trust. It doesn't mean forgetting. And it doesn't mean going back to the way things were. I look at each of them. I'm not seeking revenge anymore. That part is over. What I'm doing now is reclaiming my life, my priorities, my future. I explain it simply. I will provide for my nephew, ensuring he has opportunities I never did. But my involvement with them, the emotional entanglement, the constant drain, that's over. The final family dinner. It feels like a wake. They pick at their food, the silence heavy. I reiterate my position. Clear, concise. No room for negotiation. Financial support for the child. Emotional distance from the adults. A clean break. When dinner is over, I stand up. There are no long goodbyes, no tearful embraces. I walk out of the house I now technically control the fate of, and get into my car. I don't look in the rearview mirror. I leave them sitting there, facing the consequences of their actions without my emotional involvement. I am free. 2 years later. The air here is different. Salty, warm, filled with the cries of gulls. I wake up in my penthouse overlooking the ocean, a world away from the gray skies and stifling dynamics I left behind. My business has thrived, expanding in ways I only dreamed of in that small, quiet apartment after graduation. My morning routine is simple. Coffee on the balcony, watching the waves, the endless horizon a mirror of the possibilities stretching before me. I get occasional updates, emails from the lawyer handling the trust for my nephew, brief, detached reports on the family. Ellie is raising the boy alone, working a steady but unremarkable job. My parents downsized, selling the house at a fair market price, thanks to me. A final act of non-vindictive control. Tyler is working an entry-level job somewhere, his grand ambitions apparently dashed. Their lives are smaller now, stripped down by the consequences of their choices. I feel no satisfaction, no regret. Just a quiet detachment. I'm mentoring a few promising students here, kids who remind me of myself. Independent, working hard, overlooked. I've started a small scholarship fund for students who are supporting themselves through college. A quiet way to give back, to acknowledge the struggle I knew so well. I'm sitting on the balcony one evening, watching the sunset paint the sky in fiery colors. My current partner, Sarah, sits beside me, her hand in mine. She knows the whole story. The graduation, the betrayals, the quiet dismantling of their power, the escape. She understands the boundaries I've set, the distance I need. She accepts it. She accepts me. There's a peace in that acceptance I never thought possible. An email notification pops up on my tablet. It's from my nephew's teacher. A brief note, thanking me for the sponsorship, explaining how it's making a real difference in his life, allowing him to participate in activities he couldn't otherwise afford. I smile. That's what matters. Breaking the cycle. Giving him a chance they never truly gave me. I send a generous gift for his birthday, a supportive card filled with encouragement, no mention of the past, just hope for his future. Care without entanglement, support without strings. Later that week, I host dinner at my place. Not with family, but with my chosen family. Close friends I've made here, people who see me, the real me, not the role I was forced into. The laughter is genuine, the connection real. Watching them, I think about the journey, from the stage where my moment was stolen, to the quiet revenge, to this, peace, liberation. I didn't set out for revenge, not really. I set out to reclaim what was taken, my worth, my future, myself. And in doing so, I found a different kind of wealth, one that has nothing to do with money or control, the freedom to build a life on my own terms, to choose who I let in, to finally, truly, belong to myself. The past is a story I carry, but it doesn't define me. The sunset paints the sky in fiery colors, and I turn towards the ocean, towards the endless possibilities of the future I built.